From the campus of Middle Tennessee State University, it's Spring Fling 2012, and it's the Division II Class 2A Baseball Championship featuring the Owls of MUS and the Wildcats of Battleground Academy. Hello, everybody. Chip Walters along with Willie Donick. And Willie, today this title will go to somebody. BGA right now in a bit of the driver's seat. They only need to win one. MUS has to win twice.
They are in the winner's bracket, so MUS has got to think in terms of sweeping a doubleheader. Neither one of these teams has ever won a baseball state championship. Somebody's going to get the title. And
as we take a look at our keys to the game today, what do you have to do to score runs in this game? Well, you got to hit. That's what MUS does.
Well, solid hitting. The bats have been less potent than in years past, so you really have to put together good line drive swings. It's a big park here at Middle Tennessee State University. Line drive hitting, hard ground balls are going to be the more effective team. That's what MUS wants to do.
BGA plays a hard-nosed, aggressive style.
They do, and that's what's gotten them here. They've never won a state title, but at the beginning of the season, at their preseason banquet, they thought this was the year. They've got a very, very good team. They're one win away.
It takes great players to win a state title, and as we take a look at our key players for today's game, Holt Perdzak for MUS. He had a walk-off home run in the regionals. He leads this team.
He is their best hitter. He's their leader. He's heading to Ole Miss on a baseball scholarship. He plays a very tough position in catching. It's a pretty hot day out today. He's going to have to probably catch 2 games, and they're going to need his stick as well.
Speaking of leaders for BGA, Michael Smith.
Michael Smith is their leader for sure. Makes them go. Plays center field, steals bases, hits about 400. He's heading to Walters State next year, and he is the guy that unquestionably, even though he's not 100% health-wise, he's going to be the leader if they're going to win this title.
Well, there's a look at the table. It's been set. We'll try to bring in the big boppers after this timeout. You're watching the TSSAA Spring Fling from Murfreesboro on the TSSAA Network. Welcome back to Murfreesboro and Reese Smith Field here on the campus of Middle Tennessee State University. And it's the 2012 Spring Fling Baseball Championships. This game, the Division II Class 2A title game between BGA and MUS. Here's a look at the starting lineup and the defensive setup for BGA. Grosvenor and Beathard on the corners, Egley behind the plate, Hogue, Smith, and Beathard around the outfield left to right, and Radovian and Mayberry make up a strong middle infield. Starting pitcher for Battleground Academy is Daniel Isaacs. Isaacs will have his work cut out today, Willie, with a very good hitting MUS ball club.
Well, and in these championship games, the key is to get ahead of the hitters, throw strikes, and get those nerves calmed down. You get a big ballpark, got a good defense behind you, so it's important for him to get off to a good start. Once you get settled in, you should be okay. We saw earlier today in the first game, a couple of pitchers got off to shaky starts, got some good plays from their defense, and then settled in and pitched good ball games.
Dalton Doolin will lead things off, and we are underway, and Doolin showed bunt for a moment, but Isaacs came in high and tight and says, well, we'll just start this one this way. Doolin, Rogers, and Fitzsimmons is who we'll see here in the first inning, and Perdzak in the 5-hole is the guy to really watch. Strike call there. And the count even up now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Chip Walters and Willie Donick with you from Reese Smith Field, just underway. Top of the first. Strike call there on a breaking pitch, and almost unhittable by Doolin where he put it.
That was a very good pitch. Throw a good slow curveball that caught the outside half of the plate.
Ball and 2 strikes on Doolin, and they come outside again, but too far outside. BGA wearing their blue vests with the black undersleeves, and MUS wearing the bright red jerseys today. Time called as Doolin backs out, and Isaacs ready on the mound. This BGA team beat MUS earlier in the tournament, so the pressure is really on the Owls here. 1-2 pitch hit to right field. Beathard is there for the out, but a good adjustment on the swing, and you'll hear Beathard a lot because we have a Beathard in right field for BGA and a Beathard at third base.
Lots of Beathards there, and it's fortunate that ball was hit right at Beathard because that was a pretty good swing by Doolin. And a good break there for Daniel Isaacs. Got away with one that sort of hung up in the zone.
Jordan Rogers, the second baseman for MUS, takes a pitch outside for ball one. Just a perfect weather day. The wind blowing a little bit out toward right across the field, but bright high skies here today. Strike called on the inside corner on Rogers, and it's 1-1 strike.
So Isaacs, a couple of times now, has been able to mix in that slow curveball in for strikes, and that's going to be very, very important for him against this MUS lineup.
Ball popped up. Infield going out, outfield coming in. First baseman lost it, and it will be the right fielder, Beathard, who made the catch. And we talked about the high sky, Willie. I think the first baseman, Grosvenor, really kind of went with palms up and said, I'm not sure where that ball is. And but Beathard had a beat on it the whole way.
Well, it's fortunate that he did, because you have to talk on this. This is the Bermuda Triangle right here. And I think you're right. Grosvenor going back, he's hoping that he gets called off here. Beathard comes in last minute there and goes Willie Mays style with the basket catch.
Not Willie Mays Hayes style.
Although Willie Mays Hayes did go basket catch as well, if I remember correctly. Some of these guys watching and listening might be more familiar with Willie Mays Hayes than Willie Mays.
Exactly. Michael Fitzsimmons fouls it back. Count 1-1. Fitzsimmons, the first baseman. Well, I've been proven wrong on the wind, Willie.
Well, for the moment. If you look at the flags on top of the football stadium, though, there's a little bit of a breeze, and I think the players might want a little breeze the way it's getting warm out here.
1-1 low. It's 2-1. Yeah, fans in the stands with this the heat today. It's about 85 now, expected to go to 90 before the end of the afternoon. They're hoping for a chilling breeze. Here's a ball to right field, and it's going to be Beathard who makes every out in the inning.
Tied a record. Held by many.
Yeah. How many times
had to say it. Right?
If you hadn't, I was going to. But as we take a look in the stands, there you see some of the BGA fans here this afternoon, and wearing the blue and gold from over in Franklin. And what we have, and we have a little time to talk here, is you've got two of the really traditional private schools in the state of Tennessee. BGA is about 100 years old, if not older, and has been in Franklin for years and years and years. MUS has been they've been a West Tennessee power for years and years and years, but ironically, neither one of these schools has ever won a baseball title.
That is really hard to imagine, but that has been the case, and that's going to change here today. Whether it's going to change here in a couple hours or later on this evening remains to be seen.
Here's the defensive lineup for the Owls of MUS. Tucker, Neal, and Francis around the outfield. Young, Doolin, Rogers, and Fitzsimmons third to first. Perdzak is behind the plate. Hergenrader is the DH, and on the mound is Andrew Plunkett, a right-hander, and we'll take a look at his motion.
Looks like he's got pretty good mechanics there. Good arm action. Plunkett is a junior, and he is hitting for himself, so you see the athleticism that he has. That allows you to put a fielder in anywhere you want on the diamond, and they're going to use Edward Francis, as you mentioned, over in right field.
Yeah, only in high school baseball do you see the pitcher batting cleanup.
Yeah, it's very rare. You do see it occasionally. There is an occasional college hitter that might be able to pull it off, but not too often, especially in this day and age.
But Plunkett will get his final warm-up tosses in to give you a little number on how these teams got to this point. MUS and BGA battled on the very first game of the tournament. BGA got a 10-5 win that day, and the winning pitcher was Ross Grosvenor. Daniel Harris took the loss. Grosvenor went 5 2/3 that day, giving up 5 runs on 5 hits, but Harris had a rough afternoon. 4 1/3 innings, 12 hits, 10 runs, and 9 were earned.
Yeah, big bats there for BGA, and that was huge to get into the winner's bracket. The first game is so big, in a tournament like this to force teams to have to go through the losers bracket to come back and win. So Grosvenor got the good run support, and fortunately a lot of his players took the pressure off of him, and he was able to give him some innings, because innings are just as important as how many runs you give up sometimes, is to save that bullpen.
Jimmy Radovian leads off, and the first pitch from Plunkett is upstairs for a ball. 1-0 on Radovian. Right-hander delivers inside. 2-0. Yeah, you're right. Eating innings in a tournament, if you either are way up or way behind in a tournament game, if you have a guy that can eat some innings, that can be he could be your MVP almost to save your staff.
And they have the innings limit now, where you can't go more than 10 innings in consecutive days, which is a good rule. It forces you to have to develop pitchers over the course of the year, because if you're going to win the whole thing, you've got to use more than one guy. Here, this is Plunkett's first appearance of the tournament. Looks like he's got some good velocity. So if he's able to give his team a chance, because the Owls have to think in terms of 14 innings here, at least.
They do, but you also know that you can't get that second 7 innings until you win the first 7.
That's the trick. And so you've got to be able to have a plan for how you're going to close out the first game, and still in the back of your mind say, how do we get to game 2? But like you said, there is no game 2 if you can't close out game 1.
3-1 pitch and a big swing there from Radovian. His eyes lit up as if he saw something.
Challenged him with that fastball right down the middle.
So a full count on the first batter of the game for BGA. And it's outside for ball 4, and getting down the line quickly is Radovian. And the ball did get away from the catcher, Perdzog, but not far enough. Here's the BGA batting order. You just saw Radovian. Smith and Beathard also guaranteed here in the first. Egley, Beathard, Grosvenor, Hogue, Cruz, and Mayberry rounded out. This is Michael Smith, their center fielder. He looks fast at the plate, doesn't he? Pitch was up over his head, and Plunkett had that one sail on him. Radovian on a wild pitch moves up to second.
Boy, Plunkett having a little trouble right now. Came up and in. I don't think that was any sort of purpose pitch. He's flying open with that front shoulder right now, and his arm is kind of dragging through. So his release point is off, and a lot of stuff is up at this point. That allowed Radovian to get the second base easily. So now Smith will probably be trying to hit the ball to the right side if he can.
He hits it toward right center. On the run is Neal. Will he get there? No, over his head. Radovian had to hold up, but here comes Smith. He's almost caught. They may get Smith at second, and they do. He overran, and when they put the stop sign up at third for Radovian, it got Smith caught in no man's land, and I think Radovian would have scored easily. But you never know.
It's hard to say. These teams do have very good defense. It's a heck of a hit. Smith gets this one up, and as we mentioned before, that breeze, if there's anything that's going to help, it might be a ball just like this, blowing from left to right. Smith gets a good piece of it. The center fielder going back to try to get it is Colton Neal. Can't do it. And the runner at second base, Radovian, has to freeze because he doesn't know whether that ball is going to be caught or not, and that's why he's going to have trouble scoring from second on a ball like that. Smith assumes he's going to score, didn't see the play in front of him, overrun second base. He's so fast, maybe too fast for his own good there. He easily, I think, would have gotten to third base. But you got to read the play in front of you. Can't run the next guy off the base.
Well, he was around
and that's
second.
Smith's responsibility when you get down
He
to
was
it.
around second before Radovian got to third, actually. And because, like you said, he had to hold up. That ball was hit so high and so far that Smith really got out of the blocks and had a good chance there. Here's Beathard up the middle. That's a base hit, and BGA is on the board. Tucker Beathard sends it right back up the middle. The third baseman, and he gets an RBI single.
Well, that will soften the blow of the base running play. And it's nice to pick up that run right off the bat and get in the lead.
But I'm sure Coach Brad Myers is saying, dagnabbit, it should be 2-0 right now.
Well, the first game of the day was played between USJ and Harding Academy. USJ did the same thing, had a couple of players, in fact 3, run off the base pass in the first 2 innings. And they squandered opportunities for a big inning, ended up losing the game.
Nick Egley, the Owl catcher, at the plate. Runner at first and 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. That one hit him. So runners at first and second, and Plunkett has had a little issue with his control here early.
Well, it's a mechanical issue right now. Chip, as we mentioned before, when you're missing in the same area a lot as he has been, usually it's mechanical. And right now, you might want to have a little conversation at the mound, and you won't really get to see a chance to have the delivery there. But when you miss that bat, he's obviously not trying to hit a batter here this early in the game, already down by a run. But when you fly open with the front shoulder, sometimes that arm drags, and your release point, you're not getting on top of the pitch. Let's see if he can make an adjustment. That was much better there.
C.J. Beathard, the right fielder, is the batter. He would be third baseman Tucker Beathard's brother.
Of course, the Beathard family, a storied one for sure. CJ is a fine quarterback. We'll be heading to the next level to play at Iowa next year.
Pitch outside, gets away from the catcher, and moving up to second and third are the BGA runners. And we'll see whether that's going to be a wild pitch or a pass ball. My guess is that's going to be a pass ball.
I think it's got to be. And things going from bad to worse here. BGA looking to try to take advantage of MUS. They're just not focused right now. Plunkett having a little trouble with his delivery. Now a key pass ball, moving runners up.
Yeah, second and third now with 1 out. And Plunkett with a pitch. Outside. Oh, outside corner for a strike. A delayed strike call. So a pass ball basically is a catcher's error without being charged an error. So C.J. Beathard is a key cog in what BGA does. A hit right here gives them a very big early lead. And after having beaten this MUS team earlier, you know, momentum in a short game, 7 innings is what we play, and confidence against a team you've already beaten, they play a big role.
Well, that was a big block back there that time by Perdzak.
There you see Plunkett checking the runner. Pitch to the plate, hit into short right field, coming on hard. That ball's going to fall. 1 run will score, and a double for C.J. Beathard. And the right fielder Francis is down, and he was part of a collision in right field, as you had again the first baseman, right fielder, and second baseman all coming in on the play. And really, C.J. Beathard could not have picked a better spot to drop it into if he'd been a golfer, if he had a drop.
That was perfect placement, and you got to hope that the outfielder Francis is okay here. And this is, again, they call it the Bermuda Triangle, and it wasn't hit high enough so that the Owls could converge on it. Nobody could get to it. In fact, if anybody's going to get there, it's probably Rogers, the second baseman. It's not very well hit. It's slicing away from Rogers, the second baseman. You see, he can't get there. He tries to make an effort, and yeah, just clipped him on the shoulder there. And it looks like maybe the knee of Rogers or the elbow is where he's hurting a little bit. Looks like he's going to be okay, though, shaking it off. Unfortunately for the Owls, though, they don't get an out, and it's now 2-0 with runners at second and third.
Yeah, same situation, second and third with 1 out. And now you have Grosvenor at the plate. Ross Grosvenor. But you also got to give C.J. Beathard credit. He never slowed down. He was
thinking double right out of the box.
Right, and he saw everybody converging, and that hustle out of the box gave him an extra base and put his team in this position as Grosvenor takes a strike at the knees.
Grosvenor had a good game at the plate yesterday against Baylor. 1 for 3, but scored 2 runs, had 3 RBIs. And with the infield back for MUS here, you want to make sure you put the ball in play. Hit it hard on the ground. Make sure you get a run with 1 out.
Foul back this way and off the roof of the press box here at Reese Smith Field.
The Wildcats, though, have had good at-bats against Plunkett. They have been patient. They haven't swung at bad pitches. Plunkett's had a little problem with his control, but when he's put it over the plate, BGA's been ready to swing the bat. That's exactly how you want your offense to go about it. Now, especially with 2 strikes, Grover's got to shorten up his swing here. Make sure you put the ball in play.
Outside, but boxed up well by Perdzak, and you can see why that young man is a Division I signee. Perdzak knew the importance there, had to keep it in front of him. Perdzak signed early with Ole Miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But only 1 out, and runners at second and third here in the bottom of the first. BGA bidding for a big, big inning. Half swing. Say he didn't go. 2-2.
Well, it was a foul tip is what happened. It just got a piece of it. Perdzak held the ball up as if he caught it in the glove, but I think it hit the ground first.
So Plunkett stares in, gets the sign.
Good battle going on here. Situational hitting.
Ground ball past third. 1 run will score. They'll send Egley. He'll come to the plate. The ball will be cut off, and it is a 4-0 BGA lead on a 2-run single by Ross Grosvenor.
We mentioned good 2-strike hitting. Short stroke, put the ball in play with the infield playing back. And that was just a hot smash. And it looks like Young's got a chance at this one. It's a little bit towards the hole. You can see he's there, but took maybe a little skip off the lip there of the grass where it meets the dirt. And he couldn't handle it. 2-run score, and that's a big, big play. Still only 1 out in the inning. A big first inning for the Wildcats here.
All the runs are earned to this point. It is 4-0 BGA. And the hitter is Cam Hogue. Pops it up behind the plate. That gets into the seats. And number 1 was diving out of the way there.
Well, that's good heads-up play there by Plunkett, the pitcher. So much foul territory behind home plate here at Reese Smith Field, much more so than a lot of fields that you see these days. And Plunkett, because he knew Perdzak didn't pick up that ball off the bat, he didn't want to have a chance to make an out there and let it get away, but it got over the screen. A good hustle.
Hogue is the left fielder for the Wildcats. Plunkett with an 0-1 pitch. Outside for ball 1. Nothing going on in the bullpen, but that does not mean that some wheels aren't spinning for head coach Johnny Beard, because most of the time when you replace a pitcher at this level, he's going to come from a position. But Plunkett has had some problems here early. Foul ball over into the MUS dugout.
Looked like he took something off that pitch, maybe a changeup. And the wheels have to be turning in the dugout on both fronts, because if you're BGA, you're thinking, okay, with the lead now, I can dictate this game. The game's in our dugout here. And so I might use my pitching a little bit differently, up 4-0. If you're MUS and you're Johnny Beard, you have a different approach. You've got to be a little desperate.
To the plate. Backhanded, but gets by the shortstop. Just out of his reach, and Hogue is on. Runners now at first and second. Still just 1 out. here in the inning.
So BGA continues. We mentioned before, in a big park like this where you're not going to hit the ball out of the ballpark very often, good, hard, line drive swings are what you're looking for. You look at the last couple of balls. Hard grounders, tough plays for a defense, maybe makeable plays, but when you hit it that hard, you're going to get a lot of base hits there. It's going to find a way through it. This is a fast infield. That was a good hard shot by Hogue.
Coleman Cruz is the DH, and Hogue put up the 5th hit of the inning for BGA. There's a pitch fouled away.
Well, you think about it, the only out that's been recorded was Michael Smith overrunning second base. So Plunkett has not been fooling these BGA hitters. The Wildcats have been ready to go right from the start. And right now, if you're Johnny Beard, you got to be thinking about another option here. Nobody throwing in the bullpen.
Plunkett checks the runner at second and comes home. Right at the second baseman, chance for 2, and they'll get it. 4 unassisted on the double play. A line out for Cruz. And Grosvenor is out 4 unassisted for the 3rd out of the inning. But in the inning, 4 runs on 5 hits for the Wildcats. There were no errors and 1 man left on base for the BGA Wildcats. So we put 1 inning in the books. It is 4-0 BGA. And Willie, you look right there, body language in the MUS dugout. Somebody's got to get that turned around.
And momentum can turn. Still a long way to go in this game if you're the Owls. But yeah, that hurts to go out and give up a 4 spot. They were fortunate there. Line drive right at the second baseman. The runners froze, but it was an easy double play. In fact, that probably could have been a triple play if there were no outs. And if you really look at it, with the way the runner was coming down the line, Hogue was coming down there, could have been an unassisted triple play.
It very well could. Fans, you can purchase a DVD copy of all the Spring Fling Championship coverage by going to TSSAA-network.com and look for the green Buy Now button. Chip Walters and Willie Donick here with you from Reese Smith Field in Murfreesboro. We are mere yards away from the geographic center of the state of Tennessee. Matter of fact, we're a couple of Willie Donick 3-irons.
Well, it depends on what direction you want that 3-iron to go. I don't know if I can provide that.
Well, I would probably aim mine towards center field to get it to go toward right field. That would be more
okay.
more my speed. But yeah, if you follow the right field line out literally about a half a mile, you would get to an obelisk that is the marking for the exact geographic center. So everybody converges to the middle of the state for all these spring state titles during spring fling. Well, now Plunkett can help his own cause as he is back up at the plate. He had a tough bottom of the first pitching, but he can get his MUS team off on a good foot here in the second offensively with his bat. But he takes a strike and it's 0-2.
And a good tone-setting 2-pitch start to this inning by Daniel Isaacs. Throws a curve over for a strike, then paints the outside corner with a fastball. You want to come in and challenge hitters when you have the lead like this.
Wasted 1 outside trying to get Plunkett to go fishing. But Isaacs ready to work quickly. Also a right-hander. Outside ball 2. As it is pitcher versus pitcher in this matchup. 2-2 delivery, fouled away. Got a piece of it. And you could hear it hit the railing down there in the visitors' dugout.
So Plunkett, you've got to separate your pitching from your hitting. You can't let the fact that you've given up 4 runs affect your mentality at the plate.
Strike called on the outside corner, and down goes Andrew Plunkett. I'm not sure he liked that.
It looked like a generous outside corner there, but you'll take that all day if you're Daniel Isaacs. Let's take another look at it. See, the catcher already set up outside. See, this is the thing, and he's got to reach for it. I got to say, that's off the plate. So I don't. Now, if you're Plunkett and you're the pitcher saying, okay,
give me that
when I go back out there, and we'll call it even.
Holt Perdzak, our first chance to see him with a stick in his hand. He first pitch hits toward the second baseman Mayberry and out on one pitch.
Well, that's big right there for Isaacs to get 2 quick outs against 2 very good hitters, Plunkett and Perdzak, to start this second inning. Momentum is such a big thing, especially in a 7-inning game. You get that quick inning after you put up that crooked number. Boy, your team's feeling good.
Seth Young is the batter. Young, a third baseman. At the plate, 2 outs, nobody on in the top of the second inning. And as you see at the top of the screen, it's 4-0 BGA. Off-speed pitch drops in there for a strike.
Well, Isaacs really takes something off that curveball. He's got good spin on it. The old get-me-over curveball with Young looking fastball there.
1-1. Inside, ball 2.
It's such a great weapon to have as a pitcher. If you've got the hitter sitting on fastball, or even to start the at-bat, to be able to spin a curveball in like that, it's huge, especially at the high school level.
Line drive toward left. Coming in is Hogue. He'll make the catch, and a quick 1-2-3 for the MUS Owls here in the top of inning number 2. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left, nothing across. And so far, it has been nothing across for MUS offensively through this entire first 6 hitters they've sent to the plate. So there you see our location. We're not far from exactly where that camera is shooting down toward the field. But this ballpark, home to a lot of things, including, of course, Middle Tennessee baseball and Coach Steve Peterson in his 25th year this year. But since Spring Fling has moved back to Murfreesboro, state championship games being held right here.
It's where you want to get every year for the, and really when you look at basketball and football, same thing with the Floyd Stadium in the background on the left-hand part of your screen there, right behind it, the Murphy Center. So a lot of state championships won right in this area. And Steve Peterson, what a tremendous job he's done over the years to get this facility built. He's won a lot of games and had to be very patient as they built the funds, and this is just a perfect size ballpark for his program and also for an event like this in the state of Tennessee.
Well, BGA sent 8 men to, there you see us in the, what are we calling this color today? Mustard?
Maybe a little mustard.
Colonel Mustard in the conservatory with
Yes.
the candlestick.
And tomorrow we'll be going with Mr. Green, I think.
It could be Mr. Green jeans.
Yeah.
And I'll be dancing bear. So.
And, you know, they provided some nice shirts for us to work this, so we appreciate that. If it's free, it's we,
me.
right?
Free, it's we.
They
Correct.
could have given us the Professor Plum look as well.
Absolutely.
Maybe next year.
Or the Miss Scarlet.
Miss Scarlet, if we wanted to go with the red, yes.
That's right.
The board game Clue is always a fun one.
Noah Mayberry. He's the number 9 hole hitter for BGA, but he'll lead off the second as the Wildcats sent 8 men to the plate in the first inning. First pitch to Mayberry is a strike, and it's 0-1.
I hope they still play board games, right? Some of our younger viewers might be saying, board games? What are you talking about?
They may play an online version or a digital version.
A digital version.
Of Clue. Or
you got to go old school, though. Break out the board.
Or Operation.
Yes. The game of life, the Monopoly.
0-1 pitch. A wide one goes back to the screen.
Well, you know, there's a movie coming out this summer, Battleship, which I think is
based on the game board game. I'm guessing.
I think so.
Yeah, it's.
So I'm waiting for the, you know, Clue had a movie years ago. I guess they did that. That was an easy one to do. But can you do a Connect 4 movie? That's my question.
Or Zynga.
You'd have to be pretty creative in it to write the script.
1-1 back this way. That's going to.
Oh, they had the windows closed in the press box, Chip. You got to open up the windows so you can make the play there.
I know.
Matthew Gillespie had a shot.
Mike
Keith
get
did he get that on the rebound? I thought we were going to get one in game 1 when Mike was on the play-by-play today. Of course, he is a BGA alum, so watching his alma mater here. Voice of the Tennessee Titans on the radio side.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Just outside for Mayberry. And after the earlier call, You got to.
Yeah, Plunkett's clearly frustrated. Things have not gone his way. This is where you have to have some mental toughness as a player. You have to shake off what's happened behind you and throw strikes. Give your team a chance to get back in it.
2-2 pitch. Low ball 3.
All right, let's see if Mike can get the rebound here. Here it goes off the glass. Mike's got it. Oh, beautiful play. That is strong.
Oh, and then
it just plays it off, too.
Yeah,
doesn't even wave to the camera. Come on, Mike. Know where the camera is. Get some airtime.
Boy, that ball was tomahawked, but foul over toward the football ticket office.
That could be a YouTube moment.
Very well could be. I'll tell you.
How about the guy in Cincinnati the other day? Cincinnati Reds game. The Reds hit back-to-back home runs.
One guy caught 2 of them.
And the same fan caught 2 of them.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Said he had never caught a foul ball in any game that he'd ever been to. Catches 2 in a row.
I'll tell you, a friend of mine's son caught Daniel Ugla's ball, who played for the Columbia Lions, caught his home run ball that gave him his 36th hit in a row last summer.
The 36-game hitting streak.
The 36-game hitting streak. A friend of mine here in Murfreesboro, his son caught the ball. Well, Mayberry hanging in there with a 3-2 count, and Plunkett still battling away as well. Payoff pitch, fouled away again, and whenever Plunkett has gotten one up, Mayberry has been just a little ahead of it.
Well, Mayberry has been a thorn here. This is exactly what you don't want. This is the job of a pesky hitter like this. Foul pitch is off. Good at bat. Plunkett's just desperate to get an out here. Really had to labor in that first inning. He could use a quick out or 2, and Mayberry is not obliging.
Another 3-2 pitch and another foul ball.
Boy, if you want to get a foul ball today, just head over to that left side. Mayberry, the way he's hitting that ball.
So the count stays 3-2, and I didn't keep track with foul balls, but I'm guessing this is going to be pitch 10 or 11 to Mayberry. "4-0 BGA leads, and the Wildcats trying to get something started again here in the second. Foul back again.
Wait, look at the body language of Plunkett. And this invigorates the dugout as well. You can see BGA getting behind him, because regardless of what happens in this at-bat, it's a good at-bat for Mayberry.
There you see Michael Smith. He's all excited, watching what his teammate Noah Mayberry is getting done. BGA going with the black hats along with the blue vests and the black undersleeves. Another 3-2 delivery. Ball 4, and that right there, and listen to this BGA crowd, because after that battle to draw a walk, I mean that's a psychological victory right there.
A big boost for a team that already has a lot going for it right now, and now you've got the second time through the order coming up here, a chance to really take control of this game.
Back to the top of the order, and Jimmy Radovian, who walked and went to second on a wild pitch and scored on a single by Beathard. Runner at first, bouncing ball foul. Didn't get far away. Michael Smith was there to help out. Radovian, a senior on this BGA team.
Got it started with the walk, advanced to second on the wild pitch, came around to score. So he set the table in that first inning. So all Wildcats here. They've already beaten MUS once in this tournament.
Strike called on a curve that started way inside and had Radovian backing out of there. Turned his head on it, and the ball broke right into the zone.
Home plate umpire Jimmy Meeks. Generous on both corners so far, and you got to take note of that as a pitcher. Take advantage.
So 2 strikes on Radovian. Outside for a ball.
Tried to get the corner there. You know, you go through the years, Greg Maddox, Tom Glavine, going back before him, Tommy John, guys who don't throw that hard, boy, they would test just a couple more inches, see if you can get it. Get the catcher to set up outside a little bit, use all the tricks.
Throw over to first is not in time, and it's always amazed me, guys like that. And you can look at Maddox in particular. He was so precise with what he did that, you know, how can a guy have that good a control to really put the ball exactly where he wants it and also make it curve on the way to get it there. Radovian takes a pitch low, and the count goes to 2-2. And although they have not yet put 4 runs on the board in this inning like they did in the first, they are certainly making Plunkett throw an awful lot of pitches.
At this point, you have to be thinking past Plunkett, even if he gets through a couple more innings, because as you mentioned, he's thrown so many, and these are high-stress pitches. They've all been in tough situations.
Foul ball. Foul ball is the call by the home plate umpire, and that was very close at third, but Jimmy Meeks, the home plate umpire, made the call emphatically and immediately that it was a foul ball. Otherwise, it was going to get in the corner, and Mayberry was going to have a great chance to score from first.
I think that's an interesting point. We need our buddy Chuck Merriweather to help us out on this, but I believe this is the home plate umpire's call and not the third base umpire's call. The third base umpire, in this case, Fred Hudgens, he's just watching to see what Jimmy Meeks is going to call there. So whatever he sees is what's going to go, even though he's closer to the play.
It's basically the left field umpire, the third base umpire's ball once it gets past the bag. Low and another full count. There you see the third base umpire, Fred Hudgens. And we have one down the left field line as well.
Got a 6-man crew.
Yeah. Three-two count on Radovian. A throw over to first, and they got him. A pickoff of Mayberry. Caught him leaning, and Plunkett plucked him off the bag.
Trying to get a little jump, 3-2. Probably was going on that pitch with the full count, and that's unfortunate. That's twice now BGA has given the Owls a little bit of life, and you know, you're sitting there going, well, it's 4-0, what's the big deal? But down the road, you might look back on that. Certainly happened this morning to University School of Jackson. They had control of a game early, had some guys run off the base pass, and it came back to haunt them.
Ground ball left field, and there you go. Had they had the hit and run on there, you might have had first and third, but instead you have first and one out. But that is hit number 6 so far off Plunkett.
Despite the base running issues, BGA's hitters, there has not been one bad at bat by these guys. Every one of them fighting off pitches, hitting good line drives, and giving themselves a chance to get hits. They're finding holes.
Michael Smith is your batter. He doubled and overran second base, and they threw behind him and got him in a position where he got stuck with a runner at third. Plunkett with a runner at first and one out here in the second. Throw to first. That was the good move, but not the really good move.
See if Radovian thinks about running here. Up 4-0.
To the plate. They lay down the bunt. That's a good one. Plunkett will field and throw. Not in time. An infield hit for Michael Smith. And Radovian ends up at second. Very well placed on the bunt, Willie.
And that was the key, because I thought Young did a pretty good job on this ball, coming and getting it. Michael Smith, as we mentioned at the top, is not 100%. You can see Smith 3 going down. Just a little bit of limp there. He's had an Achilles tendon problem that's bothered him. He's playing through it. So he's not at full speed, but still able to get down there because he placed that ball so well. Nice effort by Young at third base.
Third baseman Tucker Beathard at the plate. He singled and scored in that 4-run first inning for BGA. Wildcats threatening again with a runner in scoring position when only one out here in the second. 1-ball count on Smith. This Division II Class AA championship game. At least it is a title game for BGA. MUS would like to make another game the title game today. Strike called on Beathard.
And right now, if you're BGA, you've got to keep that focus. You've got to keep that pedal down on the accelerator, because you do not want to let the Owls out of this vice grip you have on this game. You've got to add to it. You're feeling good about things, but 4 runs is not insurmountable at all. You need more.
One ball, one strike. Up the middle, shortstop will glove, toss to second for one, on to first, double play. 6-4-3. The Owls flash a little leather, and that could be a big uplift for MUS. So a double play ends things in the second and ends the BGA threat. After 2, your score, BGA 4, MUS nothing. You're watching the Division II Class AA state title game on the TSSAA network. It's been a big early innings for BGA as they have a 4-0 lead, and you can see, Willie, with a bright sunshiny day, you want to have any choice of that headwear that you see. I'm kind of go with the guy in the middle with the floppy hat to keep the ears a little less burned. So
protect the ears, maybe a little bit of the back of the neck.
Absolutely.
It's a good call.
All right, we move
Steve
on.
Spurrier visor being featured on the right-hand side there.
TSSAA.network.com is the place for all the best in regular season and championship high school sports in Tennessee. Log on to watch the Spring Fling Championship coverage live and on demand at TSSAA.network.com. We move on to the top of inning number 3, and for MUS, Shane Tucker will lead things off. He's only the 7th man to bat for MUS in this game. BGA sent 8 in the first inning.
Well, if you look at Daniel Isaacs right now, the pitcher for BGA, this is a tough mental thing right here, because he's been sitting in the dugout for a long time between innings, and I'm not surprised he's come out. The second inning did a very good job of coming out and being focused right from the get-go, but right there, definitely out of rhythm. Nowhere close on those last couple.
First walk given up by Isaacs. Matter of fact, first base runner he has given up.
Just wonder if momentum can turn here. MUS just needs one big hit, and after all the adversity they've gone through here, they'll have a chance to get back in this game. Still a long way to go here.
The DH, Will Hergenrader, he has got a guy, and you look at his stature up there. If you're looking for a big hit, this is the guy who has the power to deliver one. The 1-0 pitch is fouled back, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
And it's not necessarily a home run that you need. Just a hard hit ball. String together a couple of base hits. Get the top of the order back up there. Get Perdzak up there with some guys on base. You'll have a chance to get back in it.
1-1 pitch. Tucker on at first. That one hit him, and he tried to get out of the way, and so a walk and a hit batsman have runners at first and second and no outs. here in the top of the third.
It looks like Brad Myers coming out of the dugout. I believe that's Coach Myers coming out of there. Wants a quick word there. He popped out of there because he's seen the last few pitches nowhere close. After Isaacs did a great job hitting the corners in the first 2 innings, you can see that's a curveball. He just doesn't get on top of it at all. Not trying to hit him or anything, not even trying to back him off the plate. Just trying to spin that over for a strike, but did not have his release point there. So yeah, time to regroup if you're Isaacs. You can give up a run here. Just have to make sure you get back to throwing strikes. Let your defense go to work.
He's had a good defense behind him all year, and you know, if on the flip side, if BGA can turn a double play here, then you know they get the momentum back. But it looks like that MUS is going to try with Colton Neal to maybe put the ball in play. You've got the first and third are up at the edge of the grass as they're looking for a sacrifice attempt. The show bunt upstairs, ball 2.
I think if you're the Owls now, you want to make Isaacs throw a strike before you even think about bunting here. Make him throw a strike. Still hasn't found the rhythm. But you think about the 2 double plays that Memphis University School turned in the first 2 innings to get out of major jams.
Strike call there, and the count goes to 2-1.
They've got an uphill climb facing them anyway, but it could easily be 6-0 or 7-0 at this point of the game. So there's the signs being given. We'll see if they decide to bunt now that Isaacs has thrown a strike.
2-1. He did show it, but the pitch was inside, and it's 3-1. So if they were going to do it 2-1, chances are they'll still try it at 3-1. And you certainly want to make the third baseman try to field this to advance that runner to third.
Or do you turn him loose 3-1?
They turned him loose, and it's ball 4. And the bases are loaded with no outs for MUS.
Well, Isaacs retired the first 6 hitters in order, but has come on some hard times here. The 7, 8, 9 men all reach, and now second time through, Owls trying to get back in it.
There's some work in the bullpen for BGA, and 19 is Casey Pope. He is a left-hander, and as he comes bouncing off the mound, that seems to send a message that he is ready. And here comes Coach Brad Myers. He
not going to waste any time.
Not going to waste any time here. He's going to the bullpen, and it is his. You know, I think right now he's looking at this as, while MUS is trying to play this as a 14-inning affair, he wants to end this thing here in this game and not go to a second game today. Your new pitcher is Casey Pope. He'll replace Isaacs.
Casey Pope appeared in the game yesterday, closing things out against the Baylor school to get them into this position. So he's going to come right back in here. High leverage situation just in the second inning. So you wonder what the plan is here, how many innings they want to get out of him, and who's behind him. Because as you mentioned, Chip, right now your mentality has to be, we have an opportunity here to close it out in this first game, so you're going to use some bullets. There's no use saving them here. So a quick hook for Isaacs.
And you'll see that Casey Pope, he is a senior for Coach Brad Myers, and he looks to be a little more than just the crafty left-hander. He's got a little zip with that thing, but he does have a bender.
Well, he just showed the curveball there. We'll get a look at his fastball here. It's interesting, you know, we're trying to get a little scattered report on Pope watching. The MUS hitter is probably doing the same thing. You can sometimes pick up a few things that can help you just by watching a pitcher warm up. So BGA trying to regroup. They've controlled this game, but the lead precarious right now. Suddenly the tying run coming to the plate.
There you see Coach Myers, who has really developed an incredible program at BGA, and with a rich athletic tradition at Battleground Academy, the baseball program has certainly reached to a level of respect that maybe they've never had before. And here they are playing for a title. First pitch from Pope. Misses low to Doolin for ball one. Bases loaded, no outs. Owls all over the base paths. Upstairs, 2-0.
Pope came in with off speed on each of the first two deliveries and missed with both of them. So now Doolin in the driver's seat here.
Strike called, and again Doolin appeared to be waiting for Pope to throw a strike.
That was a big pitch there to get that one over. 2-0.
2-1. Outside, it's 3-1.
You cannot defend the walk, is the old saying, right? Boy, this will drive you crazy in a dugout.
3-1 pitch in there for a strike.
Boy, he almost aimed that. You could tell he sort of took something off of that just to say, I've got to get this pitch over. Now more scurrying down to the bullpen for BGA.
Ball four, and MUS is on the board with a bases loaded walk.
The plot is thickening here.
Tucker scores.
And you mentioned the body language in the MUS dugout after the first inning, Chip. Look at it now. A lot more life.
A lot in there. You see the BGA dugout.
Little shock there.
Yeah, not in a panic mode or anything, but big batter here as Jordan Rogers comes to the plate. You know, if Pope can get an out, then you talk about momentum going back a little bit. But the pitch swing and a miss there, and it's 0-2.
Pope changing speeds. Pulling out the kitchen sink here, now he's ahead in the count. He can go after Rogers here.
2-strike pitch, got him on 3 pitches.
Well, he showed him everything he had. Throw a little curve, change up, and then set him up for the fastball away. Had Rogers in swing mode there. A huge strikeout. Now a double play could get you out of this inning.
And the corner infielders do back up. Had him reaching. Fitzsimmons takes a ball. It's 1-0. I tell you, and you're right, this is a key batter in this sequence right here. I mean, it could tip it one way or the other.
If you're the Owls, you got to find a way to at least get another run in here, even if it's a sacrifice fly. So if you're Fitzsimmons, your mentality here is to get the ball in the air. See if you can get something up in the strike zone.
Checked his swing, but it's a strike called.
And Fitzsimmons is asking, was that on the swing or was that a called strike? Because it appeared to come in low. Because they did not appeal.
1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a foul there. It's 1-2.
It looks like Pope is starting to find the rhythm of that curveball. That's clearly his bread and butter pitch. He's throwing a lot of them here. Looks like he's got a better feel for it than he did when he came in the game.
Looks like he was about 10 pitches shy of his normal warm-up.
Yeah, he did get ready in a hurry.
Swing and a miss there, and down on strikes goes Fitzsimmons. And Pope has bounced back from a walk that drove in a run for back-to-back strikeouts. And they're 2 out now, bases loaded for Andrew Plunkett.
He's got good downward movement on that breaking ball. And that check swing was the key, where he got the strike on that because he planted the seed.
Pitch low is ball 1.
So if you're Plunkett here, you've got to go to school. You know you're going to get the curveball here. You've got to look down. Hopefully he'll get one up for you.
Plunkett swings, drives it deep to left field. On the run is Hogue, but he is going to get there for out number 3. Plunkett gave it a ride, but not far enough. And after loading the bases, walking in a run. BGA is able to come back and get MUS 1, 2, 3 after that. In the inning, there was a run on no hits, 3 big runners left on, and no BGA errors. So 3 innings are in the books.
He just missed it. And if you take a look at the flags on top of the football stadium, maybe we can get a shot of that, guys. The wind is blowing in from left, and that helped BGA there. You can see it right there. Plunkett gave that one a pretty good ride. It jumped off the bat. I thought Hogue might run out of room there. Great job by Hogue in a big outfield like this to get back there, find that fence, find that warning track, and get under it.
Well, he really turned his head and just ran to a spot and then refound the ball. And that's not easy.
That's not easy at all. And
but he knew that was his only chance.
Boy, and Plunkett, if he hits that more on a line, that could have been a double bases clearing style and could have tied this game. So a huge moment in the ball game right there.
Final line on David Isaacs, 2+ innings, no hits, 1 run. It was earned. He walked 2, struck out 1. So bottom of the 3rd coming up, and it is the middle of the BGA order. That'll be Egley, Beathard, and Grosvenor.
Now Plunkett's got to come back out and pitch. I'll tell you, things have just not gone his way, and you got to admire the fact that he's hung in there. That was just a tough break. That was a good at-bat. We talked about how Pope was really getting batters to chase the low curveball, and he was patient. He looked for the curve. He waited for the one to be up in the strike zone, and he gave it a big ride. Just no luck right there. Now he's got to focus on pitching. His team does have a run on the board. They've got a little momentum going here. He's got to come out throwing strikes.
Well, some high puffy clouds coming over the ballpark, and
that will be appreciated for those sitting in the stands,
including those railbirds with all the different kinds of hats down there. There you can see just a beautiful day. High sky, mid-80s, probably trending to the upper 80s by now. But Reese Smith Field, the site for the 2012 TSSAA Spring Fling, and the Division II AA Championship on the line with BGA, the home team today, and MUS is the visitor in this game. Nick Egley hit by a pitch and scored a run in that 4-run first for the Wildcats at the plate to lead things off here in the 3rd. There's a strike, and it's 0-1 on Egley. And Andrew Plunkett in his 3rd inning of work. He has had some rough stuff not go his way early, but he has hung in there.
He has labored, and a couple of big double plays have kept him alive here, and now he's got to be opportunistic. He's got to go to work. And you notice one thing with MUS, we'll talk about it after this pitch.
1-1 delivery, swing and a miss there, and it's 1-2.
You know, you want to work quick as a pitcher. The defense gets restless there. Now watch how long it takes here for the Owls. You've got the catcher Perzak. He's going to look into the dugout. They call the pitches from the dugout. You can tell that's the giveaway there. And you'd really like to get the call a little bit more if you're the pitcher. Get on the mound and get throwing, especially when you're trying to get in the rhythm.
1-2 pitch, bounce to 3rd. Young with the throw is in time for the out. 5-3 on the put out of Egley, and C.J. Beathard, the right fielder, will be the batter. And I know the guys in the truck are listening, and maybe we can get that sequence of seeing head coach Johnny Beard signal in the pitch and then watch the catcher Perzak signal it to his pitcher. You can see him looking over to the dugout. We'll catch that in a minute.
A big first out there as Plunkett tries to get a quick inning, get back into the dugout. Anytime you're doing a good job there of chipping away at a lead, you want to throw strikes and get right back in there.
Beathard takes a strike. 0-1. Beathard is 1 for 1 in this game, doubled back in the 1st. 1 strike pitch outside.
Now, of course, the key when you signal the pitches from the dugout is to not give away the signs, because you'll have some bird dogs in the other dugout trying to pick up your code. So sometimes teams will have 2 or 3 guys giving signs. Only one guy really has the pitch.
Okay, here's Johnny Beard. Watch him. He's thinking about it. All right. What do you got? What do you think, Willie?
Well, he certainly gave a lot of signals.
Holt Perdzak, not quite as many, but a strike called on the inside corner to Beathard, and the count goes to 2-2.
I think he gave the signal for a strike.
Said throw it on the inside corner.
So he's working at a pretty deliberate pace here. You need to be thinking ahead of pitch here. I mean, that's pretty elaborate.
Now you see, I tell you, it didn't take Perdzak nearly as long to get his signal. There's a ball popped up in that Bermuda Triangle area, but it's going to be caught by the second baseman, Rogers. So 2 out here in the third.
Very close to the same area where Beathard hit a double, where he dropped one in there behind first base.
Maybe he's been practicing. There you see some of those bird dogs right there at the top of the step. They're keeping an eye on that MUS dugout, trying to decipher the signals.
I played on a team where we had 2 or 3 people giving signals, and our DH would sit in the dugout, and if he crossed his hands, it was a curveball. If his hands were down, it was a fastball. And so it was the simplest thing, but because we had 2 or 3 other guys signaling, they couldn't pick it up.
Grosvenor to right field, makes the catch made by Francis, and for the first time in this game, BGA goes down 1-2-3. No runs, hits, or errors. Nobody left for the Wildcats. Here are your 3-inning totals for MUS. 1 run, no hits to this point, no errors, and they have left 3 men on. For BGA, it's 4 runs on 7 hits, no errors, and the Wildcats have left 2 men on base. So 4-1 after 3 here at Reese Smith Field. And for MUS, it will be Perdzak, Young, and Tucker coming up here in the top of the 4th.
Well, I can't even begin to tell you how big that was for MUS to get a 1-2-3 inning right there. That was huge. Now, you can bet they're coming back up there saying, okay, we're back to within 3. We're right in this game. Let's get a leadoff man on. We go for there.
Been a great game so far, and you can purchase DVDs of this or any game at the Spring Fling Championship coverage by going to TSSAA-network.com and looking for the green Buy Now button. There you see MUS in the red, BGA wearing the blue tops and white pants. And BGA trying to wrap up a title with this game. MUS trying to get off the deck here. They did score a run without the benefit of a hit in the third, but they certainly want to try to force a second game and put the pressure back on the Wildcats. You're talking about signals. You and I may have talked about this before, but back about 1989 or so, doing the Nashville Sounds with Bob Jamison. Well, first of all, here's Holt Perdzak, the second baseman. He takes a pitch out inside for a ball and high. Pete McCannon was the manager of the Sounds at the time, who is now bench coach for the Pirates. 1-0 pitch, ground ball, short hop. They kept it in front of him. Good play by Mayberry, and gets the out.
Boy, that is sticking your nose in it. That's for sure a big-time swing by Perdzak. He waited on the lefty curveball, stayed in there with the front shoulder, and crushed it. And Mayberry does a great job of knocking it down and staying with it. Let's take another look at it. Slow curveball. This is Pope's best pitch. Perdzak times it perfectly. A laser beam. And look at Mayberry stay in front of that ball.
Kept it in front of him.
He became a goalie for a minute there. You can do that at second base.
Seth Young, the third baseman, now at the plate. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. But Pete McCannon, one day we were standing around the batting cage while the Sounds were taking BP, and he said, would it help you if you knew our signals? I said, are you kidding me? and so he took me over in the dugout, and I just learned the basic, take, bunt, steal, hit and run, that kind of thing. And my broadcast partner, Bob Jamison, who went on to do the California Angels after that. There's a strike called, and the count goes to 1-2. After about 3 or 4 correct assumptions on my part, or predictions of, now would be a good time for the Sounds to play a little hit and run. Here it comes. finally, during the next break, he said, "Okay, spill the beans. Tell me what's up." but I've always had a fond spot in my heart for Pete Buchanan
for giving it up.
For giving up to the broadcaster the signals. 2-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3, and down goes Young. And Casey Pope picks up his 3rd strikeout since coming in relief.
He walked the first man he faced to walk in a run.
Then he struck out 3 of the next 5.
And retired all 5. So he has gotten into the groove with his best pitch, which is clearly the curveball. He's going to go back to it. You can see him shaking off the signs there.
Let's see what he wanted. Breaking pitch outside.
Well, it appears that Egley is calling the pitches for BGA. Some teams let the catcher, if they feel comfortable, they'll let him call the game. Coaches will go over it, how they want to face each hitter, and say, you guys go get it. Keeps the game moving a little faster if you trust the catcher and the pitcher to be able to do that. And Egley now wants to get on the same page with Pope. Of course, he might be upset for shaking him off on that first pitch.
He said, quit shaking me off. Shane Tucker, boy, what a good-looking athlete he is. He looks the part, doesn't he?
We've seen some good athletes in these games today. We got, of course, the Single A tomorrow, or the Division I rather, Single A, 2A, and 3A.
Line drive backhanded by the shortstop Richardson, and a nice defensive play there to end the 4th inning, but a good play by the second baseman and a good play by the shortstop. That's why it's important to be tough up the middle defensively.
Well, the Owls have had no luck. They have hit some rockets that have been caught today. 2 in that inning. You think about the long fly ball to end the last inning with the bases loaded. And how about this laser beam by Tucker? Waits on the curveball and just crushes it. It looked like a four-handed tennis with the topspin, and Radovian does a good job of staying with it and adjusting to the spin. Boy, that was one. That's the kind of ball that'll rip the laces a little bit there.
I'm still not sure either one of those plays was as good as Mike Keith's carom off the wall earlier.
Yes, I think Mike definitely gets the web gem so far today. I mean, just the nonchalantness playing it off the. I wonder if we can get another look at that. I don't know if the truck can give the replay of Mike Keith's play on the foul ball that caromed off the press box.
I'm sure they kept that for the highlight reel.
Surely they've got that.
And don't call me Shirley.
But now, if you're the Owls, you got to get right back out there and say, listen, we're getting good swings right here. Now let's take a look. Earlier in the game, here's a foul ball. Watch Mike Keith off the glass.
This is textbook.
And look at the nonchalance. Just turns, doesn't look at the camera, takes a look.
No jumping up and down.
No waving. Yeah, not even a there you go. He said, come on, you got to crack a smile, Mike, after a play like that.
And he handed it to the guy next to him.
With the shades on. Yeah. Super cool.
He is Joe Cool.
And Mike has changed locations now. You can say he's trying to figure out where the next foul ball is going to go.
It's like lightning striking. You know it's not going to come to the same spot.
Except for the Reds fan.
That's right. Bottom third of the order for BGA in the bottom of the 4th inning, and Cam Hogue will lead things off for MUS. Or rather for BGA. Hogue singled and is 1 for 1 in today's game. Breaking pitch to Hogue is outside and low for ball 1.
Yeah, Brad Myers just getting over the third. A little tardy, a little extra words for his guys in the dugout before taking his spot there.
He's going to do a little workout there on the lines. 1-0 pitch is in for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. One delivery is inside for ball 2. You know, it's good to see these two programs playing for a state title in baseball, because they have both been so good over the years in football that in each, you know, it is a way to recognize that they both have great broad-based athletic programs. and along with these two schools, tremendous academics.
That is a very important thing to both schools, which is a great thing. And BGA, of course, not a huge school in terms of enrollment as well. So they're sort of on that borderline playing in the Division II. Should they play Class A or Class AA?
And they're the smallest of the AA schools.
And I like to see that they're able to compete at this level for a state championship.
Right back up the middle and gets into center field for a base hit. That one had eyes as Cam Hogue laced it up the middle.
Another good at-bat by BGA. Good, hard line drive swings, hit the hard grounders, and they'll find holes. You know, sometimes you hit it right at people. We were talking about MUS has had some tough breaks there. BGA seems to be getting the breaks there. When they've hit hard grounders, they just seem to be just out of the reach of the Owl gloves. So the break's going their way so far.
DH Coleman Cruz, who grounded out to short. He takes a pitch for ball one. A 4-1 game. We're in the fourth inning. Cruz with a runner at first. Throw over to first. One ball, no strikes on Coleman Cruz. And again, it's Plunkett who is continuing to labor on the mound. There's a ball hit toward the gap in left center, but a nice running catch by Tucker. And having to retreat back to first is Cam Hogue.
Well, that was a very nice play by Tucker. He got a great jump on that ball. I thought that was up the gap for sure.
He did. That first step he made, very good.
He got a great read off the bat. You can see this is a good swing here by Mayberry. This looks like it's ticketed for the gap. Tucker really gets a good jump and then gets there pretty easily with that good speed of his.
Second baseman Noah Mayberry.
The first two steps are so important for the outfielder.
Mayberry takes one right between the 1 and the 1. He's on for the second time today, but has yet to get a hit.
My apologies. I was talking about the last hit. It was Cruz that hit that shot to the gap that Tucker came up with. Now Mayberry reaches base. So now with first and second and one out, top of the order come back around.
So back to the top of the order, and Jimmy Radovian has a hit and a walk today. He's been on twice. Here he lines one into left field. That's a base hit. They're going to send the runner around third. Here comes Hogue. Here comes the throw, and not in time. And I think the left fielder bobbled it. Hogue scores to make it 5-1. Mayberry ends up at third, and Radovian will be at second, and we'll see whether that's going to go as a single and an error.
As it should. Tucker really sold out there, wanted to come up throwing, give himself a chance to throw the runner out. Not sure he would have had a shot either way. You'll see it. Another good hard swing, trying to hit the ball on a line or hard on the ground. It's working for BGAC. Tucker gets that ball quick, but he's trying to rush it, takes his head off of it at the last second, and everybody else moves up a base as Hogue comes around.
So a single and an error makes it a 5-1 game, and that is not an earned run yet.
But it changes the situation. So now you've got second and third. The Owls are going to play the infield in. And Michael Smith, tough hitter here. Now what he's going to want to do, we talked about the hitting the ball hard on the line, hard ground ball. That can be effective with the drawn-in infield, but certainly if you can elevate a fly ball, that will work too.
Right, but he also, Smith being such a good hitter and such a threat, do you put him on and take your chances with a double play? You can put him on and take that bat out of his hands.
You also have to be aware of the bunt. Remember, Smith is a good bunter. Third baseman playing even with the bag, but a bunt could be an effective play here as well.
Looking to swing away there. Takes a strike on the outside corner. And it's 1-1. There you see the third baseman, Young, even with the bag. The runner there is Noah Mayberry. So Michael Smith, the center fielder, he has 2 hits on the day, one being a bunt his last time up, and he had that double where they threw in behind him and got him out. So he is 2 for 2 and trying to break this game open. Right now it's 5-1. A base hit here really puts the hurt on MUS. There's a pitch low, and it's 2-1.
Still nobody throwing in the MUS bullpen.
A lot of faith in Plunkett. Yep. Well, there you see the runner, Jimmy Radovian, at second. Smith calls a timeout, now jumps back in. Here's the pitch. Nice looking pitch, called a ball.
Smith,
and it's 3-1.
Asked for time, didn't get it. You don't have to be granted time.
Yeah, just because you ask for it does not mean you're going to get it.
I saw Bo Jackson do that one time back in the day, and he hit a home run. He asked for time. They said no. He just said, all right. Cracked one out of there.
3-1. Smith pops one up toward left field. It will get onto the outfield grass by a couple of steps, and the shortstop, Doolin, will make the play, but Smith hit that one a mile high.
That's a big out.
2 outs now for Tucker Bethard, the third baseman. Bethard has a single, drove in a run and scored, but also hit into a double play that ended the second inning.
So Plunkett's still battling now. One more out, and he keeps his team in it. Another chance for a big inning for BGA.
Look at the grin on Bethard's face.
You don't see that too often.
Plunkett knows where the runners are, comes to the plate. Bethard hits one in the air, should be caught to end the inning, but way high. Here's Rogers, makes the catch, and Bethard swinging on the first pitch, and it's out number 3. In the inning for BGA, they score a run on 2 hits. There was 1 error in the inning, and 2 men are left on base. We played 4 in Murfreesboro. And your score in this Division II Class AA title game is BGA 5, MUS 1. Back with more from Murfreesboro after this. Will Hergenrader leads things off in the top of the 5th inning, and for MUS, Willie, they're running out of outs.
Well, still time, and you have to be patient. You just can't get it all back with one swing, especially in this park. And it's been a big story throughout the season in high school baseball is they've taken some of the potency out of the bat. It's not as easy to power it, although the wind appears to have shifted, Chip. It's blowing pretty hard out to right center field at this point.
1-1 pitch is low for a ball. It's 2-1.
So you've got to set the table. You have to be patient, good at bats, hit the ball on the line. And they've hit some pretty hard balls that have not found holes. So MUS probably figures they're due to get a break here. And Pope has fallen behind 3-1.
Foul ball there, and it's 3-1.
And meanwhile, in the Wildcat bullpen, you wonder, do they have an idea of who they want to maybe close this game out if Pope does get in trouble? They're in position to go for the championship here. You can go with your best.
Swing and a miss there, and Pope came all the way back to strike him out. That's a big strikeout.
That's a good tone setter for the inning. And now, after being behind 3-1, Pope gets his 4th strikeout. It's been feast or famine. Pope has struck out 4, and he's given up 3 very hard hit balls, and he's gotten outs on all 3.
Breaking pitch right in there. Neal wasn't digging in too deep on that pitch.
That was a big breaker there.
One strike delivery. Bounced up there, and it's 1-1. As Willie mentioned earlier, private school championships crowned today, public school championships on Friday. Bouncing ball at the plate, foul. And Willie, there are 4,200 plus high school student athletes in Murfreesboro this week. When you look at tennis, soccer, baseball, softball, track and field, all in town this week in Murfreesboro. Bouncing ball toward second. Mayberry gloves and throws. He didn't have to knock that one down. Made a clean play and a 4-3 put out.
He's made some good plays over there today at second base. And Neal did a good job of staying with that curveball. He stayed in there, just got on top of it.
Back to the top of the order, Dalton Doolin. He is 0 for 1 today with a walk. But 2 out here in the top of inning number 5. Heard the unmistakable sound of cleats on concrete down below, didn't you?
Yep.
And that is the Harding Academy team. They're waiting for the next game.
Harding Academy wearing the old school Montreal Expos tri-colored hats. And there's a story behind that, which is a good one.
1-0 pitch misses, and it's 2-0.
They used it to raise money for the program and for a family that has had terminal illness issue in the family. In fact, they put the player's name on the back of the hat.
That one hit Dalton Doolin, so he is going to get a free pass.
And this is a curveball that doesn't curve when you get down to it here. So Pope allows a base runner with 2 out. Just to finish up the Harding Academy story, and we talked about it on their broadcast. They'll be coming up a little later today. The one game winner take all after they won earlier today against USJ.
Strike called on Rogers.
Trey Irwin is the player, has terminal cancer. It's a sad story, so they came together, put his name on the back of the hat, sold it, and raised a ton of money for the family. This shows you how high school athletics can be such a way to unify people in a community.
You see it, time and time again. There's Cinderella stories, about teams who are inspired by a fallen teammate, a parent of a fallen, or a parent of a teammate. Those stories are, they happen year in and year out. They're heartbreaking, but also heart-rendering when you see those teams, come and overcome those odds. 0-2 pitch, runner goes, swing and a miss there. They'll throw down to first, and the strikeout 2-3 ends the inning. For MUS in the 5th, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. And we head to the bottom of inning number 5, and your score is 5-1, BGA leading MUS.
Like Pope has really found the rhythm of that curveball. Just keeps firing it. And now that's 5 strikeouts and 3 innings pitched for him. So he's done a great job of shutting the door, getting out of that 3rd inning jam with minimal damage. And now a 4-run lead, 6 outs to get for the Wildcats. Still a ways to go. And now Plunkett will come back out for the Owls to try to keep the door shut and give his team a chance.
Well, Coach Johnny Beard has, he is stuck with his guy. He knows what he has in Plunkett, who had 1 tough inning. If you can take away the 1st inning, it's a 1-1 game. He knew that Plunkett was tough and could overcome this, and he has been able to put that 1st inning behind him and pretty much stick to his knitting from then on.
You got to admire Plunkett. I mean, he could have folded up to 10 after that 1st inning, gave up 4 runs, and was really struggling. Struggled some in the 2nd inning as well, but he just kept firing it in there, and he looks a lot better out there than he did.
You man that just walked out of your picture. Maybe we'll catch him again. Gene Manise, part of the TSSAA staff. He is the answer to a good trivia question. We were talking about the Nashville Sounds earlier. Who was the opening night starting second baseman for the original Nashville Sounds?
How about that?
Gino Manise.
And just notice that line score there, that the Owls have yet to record a hit despite having a run in this game.
Something to keep our eye on.
Yes. I believe we saw one last year, did we not?
I think we did.
In the championship game, Knoxville-Farragut.
Against Columbia.
And I believe they had a run in that game.
They did.
Without a hit.
Nick Egley is the batter, hits one high. Tucker out there, but also Neal. It will be Neal, the center fielder, who makes the catch for out number one. So that'll bring up C.J. Beathard, the right fielder.
So if you're BGA here, if you can tack on a run, one way or another, it would mean so much with the momentum.
They tacked on a run last inning, which, you know, you get to that, well, there's a ground ball to the shortstop, Doolin. Long throw out of the hole is not in time. They pulled the first baseman Fitzsimmons off the bag, which that will have to go as an error because the throw would have beaten him, I think.
Well, this is a tough play. Doolin gets to the hole. He backhands the ball. He's fine here. Now he's going to juggle it just for a sec. Still has time. And a very close play at first base. Just that little juggle made the difference. Beathard getting down the line very fast.
They're going to give him an infield hit.
And that's borderline. I could have gone either way.
Ground ball bounced on over the MUS dugout.
Little action in the bullpen now for the Owls.
But that 4-run lead is one thing, but there's a level of satisfaction when you can have a 5-run lead, Willie, when you know a grand slam can't tie you. Grosvenor.
Yeah, you breathe a little easier if you can get up by 5 or more.
Took a pitch low, and it's 2-1 on Ross Grosvenor. Today he is singled in 2 at-bats.
Well, Beathard runs well, so you got a chance here to steal a base, and this would be a situation to run. Doesn't have a big lead right now.
Popped up on the infield. In foul ground, Fitzsimmons there makes the catch in the coaching box for out number 2. 2 away for left fielder Cam Hogue.
And so again, with 2 outs now, you might feel like Beathard, if there's a chance to run, you can do it. But you got a heck of a catcher back there. Got a Division I guy, and Holt Perdzak heading to Ole Miss next year. And they're not going to just take anybody back there, so you know he can throw.
Daniel Harris, by the way, is the pitcher warming up in the MUS bullpen. Here's Hogue, the left fielder. Line shot down the left field line and out of play. We'll get a shot in a minute from high atop over toward the track and into the football practice area. You can see just a city of 10x10 pop-up tents as part of the track meet. Every school that's over there has their own little 10x10 tent, and it just kind of shows you can come here and park and see all kinds of events. Buy your all-ticket pass or all-event pass and walk from one venue to the other. Count is 0-2 on Cam Hogue. Runner at first, 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th inning. Check of the runner to the plate. Ball hit to center field. On his horse is Neal. Gets back, makes the catch for out number 3. He got to the spot as quick as he could, then sized himself up, made the catch for the out. In the inning, No runs on a hit, 1 man left. And we have played 5 complete. Still, your score remains BGA 5, MUS 1. And action continuing today around Murfreesboro and around Rutherford County, I should say, with the public school semifinals, winners bracket finals, and that all being determined on who will make it to Friday's championship games right here at Reese Smith Field.
Well, it's fun to follow. You can, talking to some people yesterday, the newspaper people, how they try to cover all the bases here. They've got people at the track. They've got people here at the ballpark, over the softball, soccer fields. It's just there's always something going on. A great buzz for a community like this.
It is one of the biggest challenges in Murfreesboro this week is to get into a restaurant for dinner. And but hey, that is a great problem to have, because so many visitors come to this city and enjoy their stay, enjoy the accommodations, enjoy the restaurants here, and know that they're coming to a safe community. They can bring their kids, turn them loose, have a great time here at Spring Fling. Top of inning number 6, and it will be the 3-4-5 hitters, Michael Fitzsimmons, Andrew Plunkett, and Holt Perdzak for MUS.
Well, that's what makes this a very big inning. Your big guns are coming up here for the Owls.
If you're going to do something, you better start it now.
No question, and he's been working that curveball here.
Casey Pope has entering his 4th inning of work.
So these guys have all seen it once. So we'll see if he's able to.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Richardson throws, and Grosvenor makes the catch for the out.
Well, so far so good for Pope. He's going to keep going with his best pitch. We mentioned MUS. Maybe the second time through you get a better look at that curveball, but not on that case.
Brad Myers on the left, Johnny Beard on the right, the 2 head coaches in this state title game. The only thing in common, the sunglasses.
A must-have on a day like today.
You have red state, blue state. Here's Plunkett, the pitcher for MUS, and he takes ball 2, 2-0. The other thing in those 2 coaches have in common is they have terrific programs and do a great job. And they've gotten their teams here fighting for a state title today. There was a strike called, and Puckett has it now 2-1 on him. He's a pretty big kid. Good size, bats from the right side, swing and a miss there, and the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, you see Pope, he hasn't been, and that looked like maybe a changeup there. Didn't have the big arc of his curveball.
2-2. Bounced it up there, 3-2.
You have to have a little bit of a different look. You can't come in with the same pitch every time. Remember, the last time up, Plunkett nearly drove a ball out of here for a grand slam. Probably the deepest ball hit of the day, but had nothing to show for it.
3-2. Fouled it away over toward the BGA dugout. Five runs on 10 hits for BGA, 1 run on no hits for MUS. Line drive, left field, foul. One thing about it, Plunkett, even that being a foul ball, has probably hit the ball as hard as anybody on this MUS team.
You think about a couple of hits. Perdzak hit that line drive that Mayberry did a good job of knocking down, picking up, and throwing out. Tucker hit the liner to short. They've hit some balls well. Got nothing to show for it.
Payoff pitch, ground ball, third baseman. Beathard is there. The long throw is in time.
Another smash. And once again, it's right at a Wildcat. And a nice job there by Beathard to stay down on that ball.
BGA has hit balls just out of the reach of MUS infielders. MUS hitters have hit them right at BGA infielders.
Well, you think about the first inning with Daniel Isaacs on the mound. 3 pretty well hit balls. Beathard made the good catch on the basket catch in right field. Caught a couple of hard liners as well.
Perdzak, Baltimore chop. That ball will get foul. Great patience by Pope. Otherwise, Perdzak was about to beat out a hit for the first of the day for MUS.
Wow, that was close. You'll see it here. You've got to determine right now, can I get the hitter out? And right now he knows he's not going to be able to. So a smart decision, hope it rolls foul, and as soon as it gets past that line, you pick it up.
And you swipe away from the infield.
Yes.
Just in case you don't get the glove around it. 1 strike pitch. Hit towards center. Going back is Smith. Still on the run. That's the first hit of the game, and it's going to go all the way to the wall. Perdzak round second. He'll chug into third. The throw will be late, and there it is. A triple for Holt Perdzak here in inning number 6. That breaks up the no-hitter.
That ball is crushed by Perdzak. Michael Smith, pretty fleet-footed center field. He got a good jump on it, still couldn't catch it. And again, it's a curveball. Perdzak waits on it, keeps that front shoulder closed, and just throws those hands, and boy, he crushed that ball. Smith runs it down, but not before Perdzak can get 3 bases.
And pretty easily he got 3 bases.
395 to center here in this park.
Looks like we may have gotten a ball loose from somewhere that ended up out by the right center field wall.
And now we've got Brad Myers coming out. He's gotten a lot of good mileage out of Pope here. Now he's got in the pen, Beathard closed out the game yesterday. So he obviously is capable of closing. And of course there are 2 Beathards. We're talking about the third baseman, Beathard. And MUS is going to go to the bench here.
Matt Bolton, he is a junior infielder. He's going to pinch hit, take a strike. And Pope, after the visit from Coach Brad Myers, starts him off with a strike.
Well, Pope's pitched well.
Pitch bounces up there.
So you could tell Pope wanted to stay in there as Myers came out to the mound.
1 ball, 1 strike. Line drive right at the second baseman. Once again, the old Adam ball. In the inning,
wow.
No runs on a hit, 1 left, and it was the first hit of the inning. No errors on the BGA Wildcats, but the liner right at the second baseman Mayberry for out number 3, and it will be the bottom third of the MUS order in the 7th, which would be their last opportunity. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 5-1, BGA in the lead, but it is uncanny how many balls MUS batters have hit right at BGA defenders.
Well, Bolton had a good at bat there. He waited on the curveball, didn't try to pull it, drove it right back through the middle, hit it on the nose, and Mayberry came over, played it perfectly.
TSSAA is the place for all the best in regular season and championship high school sports action across the state of Tennessee. Whether you're in Mountain City or Memphis or somewhere in between, log on to watch the Spring Fling Championship coverage live and on demand on TSSAA and we'll give you a free fan. No, the fans have fans in the stands. And on a sunny day like today here at Smith Field in Murfreesboro, they're coming in handy. And we should have 3 terrific title games tomorrow. Well, there you see the USJ Bruins.
They had an opportunity to close out Harding Academy this morning and did not.
So they will be back.
So Harding Academy has a chance. One game, the winner is the champion. So the Bruins trying to bounce back. They've got some of their best pitchers available.
Now you can see they've been watching part of this game. Now it's time for them to go down and get loose.
Well, Chip, I went back through my score sheet. I've got, and this is a little bit subjective here, I've got 7 balls that MUS hit sharply that have been caught by BGA defenders.
I would say
the atom balls.
Yeah,
so
I would say that's at least that many. And 7, I'd certainly trust your judgment on that. I think that would be a very good number. But boy, it has been uncanny how many have been right at him. Coleman Cruz will lead things off for BGA here in the 6th. And that one just got down and straight up, and Perdzak, I don't think really had a chance with that one.
Perdzak hoping to catch 2 games today. Hopes his day is just starting. But it's going to take a big 7th inning in order to do that. Of course, they need to put a goose egg on the board right here.
Just off the side of Cruz. He nearly got a free pass. You can feel the wind off of that one, I'm sure. Cruz is 0 for 2. He may be the only BGA hitter without a hit today. Strike called there, and it's 2-1.
And he lined into a double play in the first inning. Hit the ball very sharply there. And flew out to left field in the 4th.
Strike call there. It's 2-2. But one thing I like about Cruz, Willie, the high pants.
You like the high sock?
Oh, yes.
It's either all or nothing for players these days. They either wear the pants all the way down to the ankle, or they pull them up above the calf. They don't go with the in-between banjo string look that was popular back in my day. The old stirrups, they don't go with those anymore.
No, they're either. I'm not a fan. I like the stirrups. I'm not a fan of the solids, but at least he's got them up where they look like baseball pants, not like he's wearing khakis to science class.
Very rarely do you see somebody go with the stirrups, but I feel like they're going to come back in style someday.
3-2 delivery, poked toward right, but right at Francis, and the MUS bench is saying, finally.
See what it feels like? A good swing by Cruz. He's been robbed a couple of times there, hit the ball hard. That was a liner.
And he made that catch while wearing pants all the way down past his ankles.
Yes.
Noah Mayberry, the second baseman. I'm going to go with something a little different. You could say, you can wear the long pants every day to class, but make your uniform a little something special, a little different look. Go with the knickers, You
have to have the right shaped calves, I think, for you to look good. If you've got skinny calves, it doesn't work.
No, you're correct there. You got to have a little shape to them.
Yes, that helps.
Even if you have the high calves or the low calves, either one, as long as you have some shape. 1-0 to Mayberry. Noah Mayberry, the second baseman, has been on twice, does not have a hit. Walk and hit by a pitch. And one out here in the bottom of inning number 6. And these BGA Wildcats right now are just itching to get back out there and play defense for 3 more outs.
And Plunkett's still out there throwing bullets. He's giving it everything he's got after that rough start. He's hung in there, and he's hoping to have just enough in the tank to get through this swing.
Strike call there, and it's 3-1. I'll tell you, no matter what happens, I got to give him my Profiles and Courage Award today.
Oh, yes. Persevered.
1 out, bottom of the 6th inning in a 5-1 game. 3-1 pitch there is ball 4. And Mayberry walks for the second time today.
And here comes the manager. This may be it for Plunkett. We'll see if he makes a move, and he will.
He's going to bring in a left-hander off the bench. There you see Mayberry at first, but
so I'm sure he will keep Plunkett's bat in the game.
Daniel Harris, who warmed up earlier, is your new pitcher. Plunkett will go.
He's heading for right field.
Going to right field.
So they'll take Francis, who is the designated fielder, so to speak, and take him out of the game.
Francis comes out, and you will have Harris. Harris will come in, and really the DH will stay right where it is.
Right.
So now you have a true pitcher DH situation.
So it won't affect the batting order at all. So Harris coming in, needing to get a couple outs here in a hurry, and get MUS up there with a shot to come back and win this thing.
Well, and the situation there saw going back to the top of the order, it would have been the fourth time that Radovian would have had to face Plunkett, which that, with any good hitter, the odds are getting less and less in favor of Plunkett there. So Coach Johnny Beard made the call to go to the bullpen, and Daniel Harris, you see a right-hander, is out there to try to get a couple of outs and then leave it up to the bats of his team to try to make a big comeback in the seventh.
If you're just joining us, BGA 4 in the first. And they strung together 4 hits as well, make it 5 hits in that first inning, and took control of the game. Had a chance to blow it wide open in the second inning, but a 6-4-3 double play was the key to MUS getting out of that inning without further damage. MUS got a run back in the third, but BGA got that run back in the fourth, and they lead it 5-1. So they've had a comfortable lead in this game most of the afternoon.
Radovian, Jimmy Radovian, the shortstop, first batter to face Daniel Harris. Swing and a miss there. Plunkett goes 5 1/3. Gives up 10 hits, 5 runs to this point, 4 earned. Did not strike out a batter and walked 4, I think. We'll get that line complete in a moment.
And the thing that jumps out at you at that line is BGA's constant battling up at the plate, putting the ball in play, fouling off pitches, hitting the ball low on a line. Look at that. Second time in the game, Mayberry has been picked off at first base. He has got to be shaking his head. What am I doing over there?
And
just got caught napping there. Quick throw by Harris, and he caught him leading.
Well, and you go back to Coach Johnny Beard, too. He's seen something, obviously in an earlier game, and they've gotten Mayberry twice. That's not one you might,
They're not going to laugh now. If they're fortunate enough to hang on and win this game, they're going to be razzing him like you would not believe in that dugout.
2-1 delivery, strike call there, and that would be, he would be number 1 on the docket in Kangaroo Court with that.
Oh, yes. Harris got the start in the opening game against BGA and took the loss.
2-2 delivery. Low for ball 3.
So he went 4 1/3 on opening night.
Hey, watch the BGA hats down in the dugout right before the pitch. Watch this. 3-2 and 2 outs. We've got arm movement.
The deuce is wild.
Yeah.
They do the lucky, whatever they feel is lucky there. Now let's see what they do on the 3-2.
Strike 3 called. Well, whatever it was, it didn't work.
So Harris came in, does his job. And so a chance now for the comeback. They got 3 outs to work with.
Harris comes in, faces one batter, gets 2 outs. In the inning, no runs or hits, nobody left and no errors. 6 inning totals for BGA, 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors, 5 men left on base. For MUS, 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, and 5 men left on base. So here it is. Talk about emotions right here, Willie, because your BGA, you're 3 defensive outs away from taking home your first ever baseball championship.
It's a long process to get to this point. All the hard work you've put in there, all those practices, all those days in the batting cage, all those ground balls you've taken, comes down to this. Casey Pope has come up huge out of the bullpen today. Allowed 1 inherited runner to score, and that's it. Came into a bases loaded, nobody out situation. Did a good job getting out of that jam. And he has recorded the outs. He's got that curveball working. He's going to stay with it here. And he's got the 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up for the Owls. And the guy that he's facing first, in Tucker, hit the ball extremely hard his first time up. And so I'm sure that'll be in the back of his mind as he starts this inning.
Coach Brad Myers will start this inning on the mound, talking to his pitcher. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before, but I'm sure this is about keeping emotions in check. Brad is assisted by Blake Krieger, Dawson Gray, Lynn McNatt, and Reese Smith IV.
And look at this. They're going to make a move
before the first pitch of the inning ever takes place.
Pope came out there, completed all of his warm-up tosses, and now I don't know if he's going to make the move or just have a huddle here.
He's making a move.
It looks like he is making a move. And Beathard is going to come in.
Is he going to send Pope to right field?
He's going to go with the QB, C.J. Beathard. Tucker, his brother, pitches as well. So C.J. Beathard's coming in. So I wonder why they would do that. Maybe just to give Beathard a little more time to get loose, because he's been playing right field all afternoon long. For C.J. Beathard.
Who do we have go to right?
Looks like, if I've got this right, Quinn McIntyre is going to play right field. So you got to look at C.J. Beathard there, senior. As we mentioned, quarterback of the football team, heading to Iowa on a scholarship. Originally committed to Ole Miss, and then when the coaching change happened, sort of threw his scholarship up for grabs and ended up going Big Ten. So he will Hawkeye. Of course, his father, Casey Beathard, very good songwriter in the music industry here. His grandfather, Bobby Beathard, legendary general manager for the Washington Redskins, for
then the Chargers.
Super Bowl champions multiple times in the 80s, and then went on to the San Diego Chargers and did the same thing. So very interesting family.
I wonder if Grandpa's here today.
I haven't seen him down there, but I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
Very supportive, lives here in town. And a great guy as well. Boy, stories that he's got from the past. You know, he went through 2 strikes in the NFL. The Redskins won Super Bowls both years of the NFL strikes. You think about 1982 and 87.
And that's where Bobby Beathard got a lot of his notoriety, because he was able to maneuver the waters of strike years twice, like you said. So McIntyre is in right field. Beathard, C.J. Beathard on the mound, trying to nail this down for BGA, and Shane Tucker the batter, and Beathard starts him out with a fast strike.
Well, he's got a little more velocity than Pope. They've been seeing Pope throw probably 2 out of every 3 pitches at least curveballs, and Beathard's just coming at him with straight heat.
Bring the heater.
Forget the curveball, rookie.
Fouled away. It's 1-2.
You see that quarterback arm, that short delivery. And Tucker has had some good at-bats today.
I tell you, that compact delivery does not give you as a hitter very much time to try to figure out what's coming at you. Chased, and down on strikes he goes.
With a 4-run lead in a park like this, defense playing well, just challenge the hitter. Looks like he may have cut that a little bit, had a little late break. Good movement on that pitch.
I tell you, he made those pitches really middle of the plate, outside middle, and outside, and had Tucker chasing all the way. We have a pinch hitter, Braden Phillips, strike there. And this BGA crowd, they're from only about 25 miles away in Franklin. They have a nice crowd here this afternoon. Line drive base hit for Phillips. Keeping the hopes alive for the MUS Owls. Second hit of the day for MUS.
Boy, that feels good if you're Phillips. You come off that bench. You see the straight heat. Stays right with it.
Little inside out swing here.
We're going to have a courtesy runner. So Phillips does his job. He'll get the congratulations from his teammates.
Courtesy runner is number 4. Not listed on the roster.
He is listed. We have a first name or a last name. Hunt.
I would say that would be.
I would hope that's a last name.
Ethan Hunt. The batter now is Colton Neal.
Might be somebody brought up from the JV squad.
Very well could be.
That was not on the roster.
Strike there, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Colton Neal.
And if you're CJ Beathard with the 4-run lead, still not time to change the game plan. You still want to challenge hitters here. Just pump those fastballs in there, make them hit it. And if you can get the corner like that, why not?
I tell you, with his delivery, you mentioned the compact motion, but also, you know, that very short leg kick. From the time he starts his motion till the time it's out of his hands is not very much at all.
It does make a difference when the ball seems like it gets on you faster.
Got the good eye black going on today. One-two delivery curveball, and he got a piece of it and fouled it away.
Just want to remind everybody he does have an off-speed pitch. That was, I think, the first one of those he's thrown.
And, you know, and you have to give Neal credit for not jumping out of his shoes trying to hit it. Inside, ball 2.
So if you're the Owls, if you're dueling, you just want to keep the at-bat alive here. Don't help the pitcher at all. Stay relaxed, get on base.
Low, ball 3. Well, let's see if they'll start the runner here to try to, although you don't want to run yourself out of the 7th inning in a championship, but you also want to stay out of the double play. Ball hit in the air to center field. Back goes Smith. Makes an, speaking of Willie Mays style,
oh my goodness,
the over-the-shoulder catch by Michael Smith.
Boy,
take another look at this.
Neal gives this a ride. He gets a great swing on it. Smith got a good jump. Look how shallow he's playing, though, and now he's drifting a little bit with it and then has to lunge at the last second. And Smith will get back in that dugout and say, Coach, I had it all the way. I had it all the way. But, boy, he gave everybody a heart attack with that last leap.
MUS down to their final out. They're down 5-1, top of the 7th.
And hasn't that been the story for the Owls today? Another solid at-bat. Driving the ball pretty well, but you get nothing to show for it.
Dalton Doolin, the batter. There's a strike, and the count is 1-1.
BGA has never won the state championship in baseball. They can smell it now.
Just missed. It's 2-1.
Be a big moment for them.
All those BGA fans on their feet down there. Here's a catcher's indifference on the runner. They'll let him go to second.
I don't think it was the catcher's indifference. I think
the shortstop indifference. The second base.
Nobody went over to cover. Nick Egley was like, where are you guys? Come on, I want to throw this thing.
But 2 outs, 3-1 count on Doolin. Strike called, and it's 3-2. Doolin had put down his bat. Never a good move until you actually know what the call is.
Indeed.
But a full count.
Let's take a look at it. It looked like it might have been down. Got to turn the page if you're doing it. Got to refocus.
All right, 3-2 pitch. Line drive, base hit. Up the middle. Here comes Hargenrader. Or make that Phillips, who was the pinch hitter. Or actually the courtesy runner, Ethan Hunt. We'll get to whoever it actually was.
I think it is Hunt.
Yeah, Hunt is at third.
And they're not going to take any chances down by 4 runs. Smart move there, holding Hunt at third base as Doolin gets a big 2-strike hit, keeps his team alive.
But still, MUS still down to their final out.
But one more base runner that can bring the tying run up. C.J. Beathard staying with the plan. Just challenge the hitters with fastballs.
Jordan Rogers, the batter, 0 for 3. He has struck out twice today. Bounced up there. The runner from second will go. They'll come home. The throw of the plate, not in time. So a wild pitch will allow Hunt to score. Well, that changes things up. All of a sudden, the tying run is at the plate.
Well, not yet. With Rogers
correct.
still up there, but
Public school math. No, I'm just kidding.
but watch this. This is an interesting decision by Hunt. We mentioned they didn't take any chances, but look, he very nearly gets thrown out here, and that would be a heck of a way to end the game.
There's a ball fouled away, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now, MUS is down to their final strike. There has been some drama here in the 7th. Beathard pitches. Bouncing ball up the middle. That's a base hit. They'll hold the runner at third, and now the tying run will come to the plate.
You got to give these Owls hitters credit. 2 outs, 2 strikes, stayed focused, had good at bats. Three batters in a row.
Yeah,
3 hits in the inning. Doolin, Rogers, and Beathard's doing his job. He's throwing strikes.
Well,
and now you got the big guns coming up here. 3, 4, 5 hitters.
Fitzsimmons is the batter. And you look at both of these dugouts, everybody perched on the top step. Michael Fitzsimmons outside for a ball. Fitzsimmons, fly ball out, a strikeout, and a ground out. He's 0 for 3. 1-0. Strike called.
Beathard's got some good zip on that fastball. But you get the feeling the Owls, I think they like hitting against him more than they did Pope. That curveball was giving them all kinds of trouble.
1-1, bounced up there. Another run is going to come to the plate on another wild pitch. It's 5-3, and the count is 2-1 on Fitzsimmons. So 2 wild pitches in the inning have resulted in 2 MUS runs.
Now, if you're Hunt, that pinch runner who scored on a bang-bang play there, your heart must have been beating pretty fast. What a sigh of relief, knowing that you've scored and you've kept your team alive.
Strike called in the outside corner, and again, MUS down to their last strike. Very interesting.
The plot is thickening. Can they get a 3rd consecutive 2-strike hit?
Ball 3.
Beathard looked like that late movement. You know, good quarterback throw. It allows you kind of natural cut fastball on that, runs it away from the righty hitter.
3-2 pitch, struck him out. The throw down to first is in time. BGA wins their first ever state championship. And the dog pile on the mound here in Murfreesboro. Top of the 7th inning for for MUS. They scored 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave a man. No errors. But congratulations to Coach Brad Myers and the BGA Wildcats as they take a state championship back to Franklin, Tennessee.
I was talking to Brad Myers before the game, and he was telling me about Michael Smith, his team leader, who's been slowed by an Achilles injury. And he said it was really bothering him, so he texted him last night. He said, hey, I can get you plenty of days off after this game today. Just joking, he said, I'll rest as soon as we dogpile. And so that was the foreshadowing for what we just saw. Michael Smith coming in from center field to leap. I think he was the last guy on the pile. You see him there hugging his teammates. Number 3 there as the Wildcats celebrate their first ever state championship. What a ball game. You got to give the Owls credit. They never quit. They went right down to the last out there. And they had the tying run at the plate.
They certainly made it interesting. 5-3 your final score. BGA wins the Division II Class 2A championship here in Murfreesboro. We'll take a timeout. Trophy presentations come your way next. Trophy presentation time here at Reese Smith Field, and ironically, one of the assistant coaches for BGA is Reese Smith IV. His grandfather is who this field is named after, but there you see the state runners-up, the Owls of MUS.
And a great season, 30 wins for the Owls. And here come the Wildcats to accept the championship trophy.
Brad Myers, first of all, getting the coach's plaque for the state championship, and then you will see that BGA, who picked up the win today.
Their 27th,
their 27th
of the season.
Win of the year. Yep. There it is. BGA claiming their state championship. And another link in the chain of a great legacy of athletics at Battleground Academy. Well, Willie, we have seen our first state champion crowned. We have another yet to come on the TSSAA network today in Division II, and of course 3 titles will be crowned on Friday. Good to see you again, and we're treated to another great ball game by great players.
Chip, it's been a pleasure. I'm looking forward to coming back out here tomorrow as well, and there's some more great baseball to be played. As you mentioned, congratulations to BGA for being named Division II Class 2A State Baseball Champions.
And that will wrap it up for us. Thanks for being with us here on the TSSAA Network. Congratulations to the BGA Wildcats, your 2012 Division II Class AA State Champions.